Hey everyone, Pat Armstrong here with another edition of Increase, the lifestyle vlog for men and the women who love them. And today it's another beautiful day here in West Georgia, and I am in one of my favorite places. We are blessed with a beautiful covered deck on the back of our house, and this is one of the places that I love to spend my time just enjoying being outdoors or reading a book or whatever the case may be. But you know, there's one thing that all of us deal with on a daily basis, especially this time of year, something that would just totally ruin your day, something that could literally make you sick physically. For some of us, it could cause us to lose our religion. And this thing could also totally ruin your social game. And that is mosquitoes. And so today, I want to give you 5 things that will help you hopefully eliminate these pesky boogers called mosquitoes. Number 1. Eliminate all sources of standing water. If you have puddles, if you have pools, if you have a bird bath, you want to make sure that you eliminate all the standing water that you can. If you get a lot of rain, you obviously, not a whole lot you can do about that, but try to eliminate the puddles. If you have a pool, make sure that you keep it treated. Do not let it get stagnant. Otherwise, it can actually breed mosquitoes. If you're not familiar with, that is where mosquitoes lay their eggs. They grow into larvae that eventually fly from standing water. And so, puddles, pools, if you happen to have lawn ornaments that collect water, you want to make sure that you change out the water, such as a bird bath, something like that. And one thing, men, you definitely want to take care of, do not allow water to accumulate in your gutters. For one thing, it's not good for the house, but the other thing too is that is a prime breeding ground for mosquitoes. Number 2, use an insecticide. Now, I know this is one of those steps that probably goes without saying, but you can use an insecticide to get rid of mosquitoes. Now, I know most of us don't like to use insecticides. Besides what they say it does to the ozone layer and all that, they just stink. They're just nasty. And so you don't want to use an insecticide, but they do work. If you choose to use an insecticide, use a spray that has natural ingredients like pyrethrin, which actually comes from the chrysanthemum flower. And so if you decide to use an insecticide, use one of those. Number 3, so you don't want to use an insecticide. You've eliminated all of the water. How can we get rid of these things? Well, the third way is to use a fan. Mosquitoes are weak flyers, and so if you use a fan, whether it be a ceiling fan or you use a box fan or even an oscillating fan, that stream of air that flows through can actually redirect the mosquitoes away from the area that you're in. We're fortunate, again, being that we have a covered deck, we have a ceiling fan. If you have a covered deck but you don't have a ceiling fan, I found out recently by actually installing one in my kitchen, that they're pretty easy to install. So get you a ceiling fan. You can even buy a used one and put it on your deck. By the way, if you saw him there, that was Rocky. He just passed by. 4, use a repellent spray or lotion. Now, there is a difference between an insecticide and a repellent. An insecticide will actually kill bugs, where a repellent will just repel them to keep them away. So if you decide to use a repellent, and again, the problem with repellents that I have is that they just stink. And when you put, they do work, but they just stink. Now, they've come a long ways in making repellents from brands like Off or Cutter Evergreen or Skin So Soft by Avon. And there are others. They've come a long ways. They don't smell so bad. But again, it's still, you're spraying it on you and you're putting it on you, and you just feel like you need a shower or a bath after that. But if you so choose to use a repellent spray or a lotion, you can use one with DEET. Now, DEET is a substance that's kind of a yellow color and has a little bit of a fragrance to it, and that's probably the most common one. Or you can use one called picaridin, which picaridin is clear and doesn't necessarily have a smell to it. Another one is IR3535. It's got a really long name that I'm not even going to try to give to you. But the difference between DEET and picaridin and the IR3535 is that DEET and picaridin have an insecticide in it. That's part of the reason why it has a smell. And the IR3535 is just a repellent. And again, you can find all of these in all the different brands at your local discount store. And then one other option is, if you have to go natural, you can actually use lemon eucalyptus. And so if you don't mind the smell of eucalyptus, you could actually put that on you as well, and that gives you a natural repellent from mosquitoes. And number 5 is use an emanator. Now, if you're not familiar with an emanator, what an emanator is, it's like the air fresheners that you see a lot of times in different places, especially in public restrooms, that's hanging on the wall that sprays out a mist every once in a while. That's what an emanator is. And you can get a device that's very similar to that, that sprays metafluorin, and it sprays it in intervals, and what that does is it creates a barrier around the area that you're in. Now, the good thing about metafluorin and these emanators is that you can use them both indoor and outdoor, and they come in the way you can either hang them on the wall or put them in the middle of a table or what have you. The only thing about it is, if you use them, you don't want to put them in an area with a direct flow of air, because that kind of eliminates the whole idea of setting up this area. So you can get an emanator and use metafluorin in it. Again, can be used indoor or outdoor. It is highly effective, but they do not recommend that you use it directly on your skin, because it is an insecticide and not just a repellent, so you do not want to use it directly on your skin. So there you have it. There's 5 things, hopefully, that you can use this summer to eliminate those stinking... Got him.